Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the Honor Devotional takes readers on a 30-day journey through which they'll examine the concept of honor from a biblical perspective and its transformative potential for communities, families, friendships, and even companies. Author and telecommunications professional Gordon Michael Swaby joins us this morning to share more. Welcome, Gordon.
Morning. Welcome.
An honor to have you.
Bless you.
A 30-day devotional.
Timely.
About honor. I want to know what inspired this book first and foremost.
All right. Well, for me personally, it's just, a way to enrich the human experience.
Yes.
I was also very blessed to have a mentor, Minister Oliver Anderson. She touched my life greatly. So some of her words, teachings are also in that. So I thought it was important to kind of get that together, and also as a way to heal Jamaica, to help us to become a better people, and to really, reap the rewards of all that I believe that's there for us.
You could have delved in so many different ideas, taken it from so many different angles, but you chose honor. I want to talk to you a lot about it, so stick and stay, because we're going to be coming right back after this. We're going to throw the news in a short while, but perhaps I'll challenge you to begin to answer that question, even though I'm telling you from early that this discussion will continue after the news.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that we need to get through this morning. As I talk about honor, I think about a text in Scripture that says, by fear of Lord, you get honor, life. Proverbs 22. Why honor?
Well, as I said, I think the good book says, it's 1 Peter 2:17, honor all men. So we're already commanded to do that. And I think what's also important to understand is that as human beings, excuse me, we are the highest evolution of the Almighty upon the earth. So we have to be careful how we treat with each other, because this is God's technology in motion. All right, so I just wanted to leave you that as we go to the break.
Love that. We're definitely going to keep discussing this because there's so much to talk about. Thanks for staying with us here on Sunrise. Okay, Gordon Michael Swaby joins us this morning to share more on the Honor Devotional, a 30-day journey through which they'll examine the concept of honor from a biblical perspective and its transformative potential for communities, families, friendships, and even companies. Welcome back, Gordon.
Yeah,
Before we went to news, we spoke about why you wrote this devotional.
Yes.
We even touched a little bit about why honor. Something that was interesting to me is that you used the national anthem as a frame or a reference or example. What was the thought process behind that?
Well, if you remember, it says, teach us respect for all. So many times we sing that, but we don't understand what it means. And I think honor kind of gives some sense of visibility to that. So in that regard, it was very important that we understand these principles and begin to live out what we sing every day. So I think that was it for me. And it struck me rather late, because it was after I wrote the book and somebody brought it up. I said, hey, it's in there, So that was it.
A very interesting day 2, because there are 30 days, of course, day 2, honor your source. Tami and I were putting on a show called Tami. Why should we advertise here on CVMTV for this upcoming show? And how does that relate to your idea of honoring your source? Explain to us.
All right. Well, as I said, that I found this story. I heard this story, and, this young lady, she was there. She was working with this person, and, he said, go out and do something. I'll give you some money. And she came back and complained, but your price is more expensive than the rest of one. And the person listened and said, hey, if you give to your source, you'll always have, right? And that, to me, was just so mind-blowing. And I think that kind of is like a glue that keeps things rolling, So we have to understand, it's the same principle we at work. You're not going to be there cussing the people who employ you. You're going out there and you're bad-mouthing them. And at the same time, they're the ones that are paying you. So these are some principles that we're kind of encodifying and making sure that people understand what we're saying.
As you say that, what are some of the examples of honor practices that you encourage in the book, and how can we, implement those in business transactions, customers? Like, how do we bring honor to those moments? What are some of those practices?
Well, I think the important thing to understand is that some are there, but at the same time, we need to be more intentional and understand what we're doing. When you have a customer appreciation day, that's an honor system, right? when also you have employee incentive schemes. I think I was on a governance course that's offered by the JSC, and one of the principals of Wisynco, he was telling us how, you know, a percentage of the profits go to the workers. And I said that was powerful. And, you know, you can see the results that they've been having. So I think that is something that, you know, we need to understand and need to put more in and spend the time thinking about it. So as we understand the principles, we can start to give flesh to it and do it and, you know, create some really powerful ways in which we can encourage our staff and our other stakeholders.
It's a beautiful book. It's a nice hard cover book.
Yes.
Where can people get it? Where can people find it so that they can read it and gift it and all the good stuff?
I like the way you're just prompting the users. Give it, don't stop.
It's true.
So right now we're on Amazon. I had some discussions with at least one local entity, but nothing yet. But as I said, it's on Amazon now, and the fulfillment has been amazing. I had a cousin in the UK. I told her about it. She ordered Wednesday. By Friday, she had it.
Wow.
You know, so you can imagine how powerful it is being here in Jamaica and you having this thing going about and moving about. So it's on Amazon. So you can look for it. An important thing is to spell honor O-U-R, not O-R.
Yes,
So that's important for them to understand. So it's there, and we're looking forward to for it to grow. And for me personally, I was fortunate to get a very powerful testimony from a young lady just yesterday. You know, she said she's read it over 5 times already, and she was relating an incident where she was dealing with a service provider. I don't know what it was. You know, she felt offended, she felt hurt. She said she came back and sat down. And she said just by chance, she had her honor code with her. And she said she looked for the chapter, honor even when dishonored. And that is how she was able to compose herself and finish her transaction. So for a young person to say that, and for me to read it, I said, wow, that's just so powerful.
Yeah, amazing when you put your work out into the world and have it, you know, reflected back to you in a way that you hope, that was your intention, that people would find it in those difficult moments.
That was it for me. I don't need to do anything more. That story alone, and especially from a young person at her age, growing up in that system and understanding these things, that's it. It made my days.
I do believe that we have a QR code as well that will be on screen that people can scan. So you can get your phones out and actually scan the QR code. There it is. And that should be able to take you right to where you need to be. Exactly.
I didn't race through the book, Tami.
No.
I mean, of course, I admire your lovely friend who read it 5 times. I'm still at day 2 on your source because I'm putting on a show. I tell my daughters you have to pay to come and see me, and they're saying, Daddy, that's ridiculous.
Honor your source.
No, listen, I said,
honor your source. He has his marketing slogan. Honor your source, you know.
I'm going to have to print that and put it on a refrigerator at home. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it very much.
It's good to have you, man. Carlton, I know you're watching. A very good morning to you. That was Gordon Michael Swaby, author and telecommunications professional. So you can stay more sunrise when we return.